Quick Crypto, bringing you quick Casper news. In the words of one of Casper's core lead developers, Michael Sutton, Casper seems to be approaching a boiling point. Well, technology-wise at least. And where this may be true, and we'll be getting into why in this video, in my personal opinion, I believe this is also the case for Casper's price as well. Of course, this is not financial advice and always do your own research, but based on some major Casper and crypto catalysts I've discovered, I believe a breakout is on the horizon, which is why I have bought 10,000 more Casper. For starters, look at the fear to greed index. Bitcoin is hovering around 5758k right now, and fear is growing. It is through the roof. It is exactly at times like these that the big institutions, the BlackRock and Fidelities of the world, will start filling more on their Bitcoin bags. And that is exactly what they have been doing right now. The German government has been selling an absurd amount of Bitcoin, but every step of the way, BlackRock and the rest of Wall Street has been buying. Look here, yesterday, the German government surpassed $900 million worth of Bitcoin left to sell. And later that very same day, they surpassed $800 million. And now today, the German government has almost $500 million left worth of Bitcoin remaining. Keep in mind that they had over 2 billion Bitcoin, $2 billion worth of Bitcoin a week or two ago. The German government now has only 9,925 Bitcoin remaining, which is only 19.9% remaining from their original supply seized from Movie 2K. And of course, with such aggressive outflows, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt has been rising in the market. The market has gone through a correction and is in a difficult position, let's say. But look here, this here is what reignites my belief, my faith, that this is nothing more than just a shakeout to scare you that Bitcoin, crypto, and especially Casper will break out fairly soon. US Bitcoin ETFs are scooping up almost exactly the same amount of Bitcoin that is sold by Germany. Every single time Germany sell, Wall Street scoop up an absurd amount of it, with the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity scooping up the bulk of it all. This is proof to you here. We are literally witnessing a real-time intergenerational transfer of wealth between nations, and if you aren't careful, you will get caught in their trap. And it's at times like these where you need to remember the most famous sayings in trading. Well, there's two that I'm going to highlight. One is you buy the rumor and you sell the news. If the rumor is that crypto and Bitcoin is dying and it's not going to be here anymore, flooded through the roof, use that to your advantage, because likely this is not the case and actually the opposite is happening behind the scenes. And the second saying, which can occasionally overturn the first, is BlackRock never loses. And if BlackRock is buying a crap ton of Bitcoin, follow the money. This is a crystal clear sign to you that crypto and Bitcoin is here to stay, at least for the meantime. CNBC professionals right now are reporting that Bitcoin is holding support and is ready to make another run at a record. Uphold's director of research, Dr. Martin Heisberg, posted that explosive move back to 62k in one sweep to recover the 200 moving average for Bitcoin is incoming as well. Bitcoin seems to be gearing up for a massive colossal run, and that is exactly why we can see interviews like these on CNBC with Skyridge's Anthony Scaramucci stating that Bitcoin can get to 100k by the end of the year. Take a listen.
The question needs to be re-asked because it was at north of 70 and now here we are.
Just promise me if we get to 100,000 at the end of the year, you'll invite me back.
I definitely will.
Promise me.
I definitely will.
I won't have the basketball trophy, but you have a lot of things going on at the same time. You have the German government selling some Bitcoin. You have the Mt. Gox bankruptcy, which has been a 10-year drawn-out affair, is now going to be releasing about 140,000 Bitcoins. And so Skybridge, alongside of Fortress, participated in that. And so you have a combination of these things going on at the same time, that there's been some selling pressure in the ETF. And so when that happens, Bitcoin is a volatile asset. You also had a halving, not to get into the Bitcoin jargon with you, but
I think our viewers are well versed on that.
Okay, so every time you have a halving, a result of which it forces the miners to sell some Bitcoin to keep up their revenues, which puts temporary pressure on Bitcoin. But we still love the fundamentals of Bitcoin long term. And I do think, as I said, it'll be 170,000 post-halving, but I think it can get to 100,000 by year end, but it has to chug through this slog right now.
Now remember, Bitcoin has already achieved a new all-time high in the run-up to the bull market, not the actual bull market, just the run-up beforehand. So a 100k by the end of the year is not really out of the realm of possibility. We're at the beginning of Q3. That's only 5 to 6 months from here, and that is only a 2x, in fact just under that as well. Once Bitcoin pumps, of course the rest of crypto will pump with it. And with all the major catalysts incoming for Casper alone, there's a possibility that Casper's bull run may start earlier than Bitcoin and the rest of crypto. Casper has been in the perfect consolidation phase for the past 5 days, and we saw similar behavior. Casper's going to suddenly jump from 16 to 50 cents, but the point being is patience is a virtue. You should always be patient when You should always be patient when and should always play a massive role when investing, all the while remaining logical and not emotional. Furthermore, Casper's adoption continues to soar higher and higher as more miners join the project. Casper now has another new all-time high at 417.82 petahashes per second. The Casper, for example, the Rust rewrite opened the door. The Rust rewrite opened the door for new talent to join the Casper development. The Rust rewrite opened the door for new talent to join the Casper development community. The Rust rewrite opened the door for new talent to join the Casper developer community. The core devs are now in over 16 countries across the globe. They are spread all around the world, and once the migration is fully complete, when Casper has 100% Rusty Casper migration, this is where the fun begins. Remember, we are approaching a boiling point, and Rust opens up doorways to everything Casper is building. 10 blocks per second on the mainnet, which will then be incorporated onto the Casper blockchain, the Casplex, the KRC20, which should be seeing another open beta this month, which is very exciting. The KRC20, that will one day have smart contracts, and that will allow Casper to better compete with and one day even flip Ethereum. And once Rusty Casper is done, then the core devs can focus on their main goal of perfecting the DAG Knight protocol. Rust is literally the key that unlocks everything else that Casper is building, and once the migration is done, once the hard fork is done and out of the way, the exchanges will have less risk lifting the project. The tier 1s may finally announce a Cas trading pair, sending its price even higher. And not to mention the Casper Alpha, which we will be receiving updates about this month according to Shai, which is very exciting. If you don't know what I'm referring to, then check out my most recent video. Casper is likely announcing that they're going to be working closely with institutions, which is huge news. Time is running out. Do your own research, DCA, and don't be emotional. Be logical.